Hello everyone, and welcome to a tutorial on Bob. Bob is an agentic coding platform that can help you develop faster with more security and with more knowledge. You are the guide, you are the director, and you are the creator of everything you design for your company. And when you have Bob, you can create more, you can do more, and you can essentially accelerate and drive the innovation wherever you work. So today, what I'm going to show you is something very simple. We're going to build an application that can store secrets about LLMs and AI agents. We're going to use Bob to do it. And I really want to start from the very beginning. And Bob, at an essential level, has different modes. So it can plan, it can code, it can do advanced, and we can ask a question. So let's start by asking some questions. So what can Bob do? I would like to build an application with a JavaScript front end and back end, and that does queries on a SQLite database. This will store research insights about LLMs and AI agents. Okay, so first we're getting a measure for what Bob can do. So Bob is powerful. It can write and edit code. It can execute commands on the command line. It can run file operations. It can launch the browser to test web apps. It can search and do analysis. It can create plans and designs. And all right, so it's already giving me a application stack, a technology stack with the front end, with the Fetch API and the UI components, and a back end, Node.js and Express, and a SQLite database. So it's giving us the architecture. It's giving us the front end. It's giving us the back end. And it gave us a database schema example of different key features we can include. So that's going to be really nice. And it even gave us a project structure. So I like to take it step by step here. And I think creating a skeleton is a great idea. So let's begin with creating the project structure only. I want IBM Plex Sans as the font and futuristic colors. So let's call it AI Research Insights, and you choose this theme. Ask us a few questions as we do our plan, and it's going out and it's creating a project plan with a technology stack, with the database, with our color palette, and our project structure. So it's going out and designing all of this for us after we've given it the intuitive idea for our design. So now that we have an overview, we are going to, move ahead because I think the architecture is clear. So it's asking me, it's asking me a few questions here. And I think one of the key principles of operating with AI systems is that you can't ask them to do too much at once. So I like to take things step by step so that I don't lose sight of what's right in front of me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first create the complete project structure with all the directories and the files. Sorry, not do that. That's what I'm not going to do. I'm going to create just the directory structure first, and then I'll add the files incrementally. So we'll go step by step. So boom, I'm going to click here and it automatically switched from plan to code. All right, and it's running some commands. And it's going out, it's running our commands. And okay, perfect. It created our directory for us. All right, so we have our backend, we have our database, we have our front end, and the assets and icons, the CSS, the JavaScript, and all the models and all the routes for the specific data structures. So next, let's start to design the database schema, and this can inform our front end design. Only help me design the database schema. For now, let's start with a table that records insights with a string that records date it was inputted. Each insight should have a category. And what else do you recommend in this table? Do you recommend any other tables? Let's keep it simple. So, all right, so we started with a unique identifier. Of course, I forgot to say that. The date added, and the category, and then recommended additional fields. A short title or summary, that's good. Source, where it came from. Tags, okay, I like that. And rating, okay, I like all of that. I would say include all recommended fields. Yeah, let's do that. So we're going out and we are creating a table, and we're creating an index for each one of those fields. And again, I mean, this is a very simple application, right? And it's already going out and it's actually documenting what this database actually looks like so that someone coming in and reading the code base can understand it. Okay, wonderful. All right. Okay, perfect. So we've created a database schema design, and now that we're ready for the next step, I would say, yes, let's design a backend that aligns to this. Next, we will design a beautiful front end, but let's focus on the backend. Okay, wonderful. And again, we are the directors of the technology. At the end of the day, we are the arbiters of truth, and we should never depend on these LLMs being perfect at what they do. They are going to suggest good architectures, but at the end of the day, we carry the intuition. We're the ones who understand what it is that we want out of our applications. And so therefore, we should always be careful, and we should come with as much information as possible about the design of what we are creating. So we're creating the backend implementation with Node.js and Express. So that's really cool. Okay, we're giving it a port. We're getting the configuration ready. We're using Better SQLite 3. Perfect. That's going to allow us to interact with our database. We're actually also creating classes to essentially run functions on top of our database and ask queries. And we're going to store those functions, or we're going to activate those functions on our server. And that's going to be critical so that we can talk to that server and serve our front end interactively. And it's very interesting because now we have become pilots of a great ship where we have agents doing things for us, writing code for us. So we need to be very careful and, again, learn and understand the fundamental tenets that make an application well architected so that we can direct AI to write the right functions, to display the right front end, and to do it in a way that is scalable, and that we're using the right data structures and designing our database in the correct way so that everything functions properly. Okay, perfect. We created a get ignore. That's wonderful. All right, creating a README file. All right. Okay, so let's get our backend running. So let's cd into this, this project. All right, we're in. npm install. Oops. npm run initdb. npm run dev. Oh, we got a problem. We got a problem, but Bob can fix it. Okay, now let's try it again. All right, our server has initialized successfully, and now we are ready to build the full futuristic front end with IBM Plex Sans, and let's do it. So now, build the front end to intuitively add amazing secrets about LLMs and view past ones. Okay, need to sign back in. All right, we're back. Okay, and here we can have a very clear structure of all the things that we've built and all the tasks that are getting done. I think it's very interesting because by watching computers build, by watching them do what they do, and by watching the patterns through which they build software and the ways in which they go into files and edit specific lines and read files and go into directories and go out of directories and understand the ultimate goal and map those ultimate goals to specific libraries or specific patterns, we can learn a lot about development itself. And they can operate at extraordinary speeds. And with LLMs, we can essentially explore the design space in a way that is way faster, because we can try out many different configurations, many different user interfaces, many different libraries simultaneously to achieve the same outcome. And we can even do more research on different libraries and pros and cons, and essentially process information faster to get things done a lot faster. So we're doing all of this, and it's creating the components. It's giving us our CSS. It's designing the way it designs. I might have personally, put it all on one CSS file for an app this simple, But, it has its own way of doing things, and you can always go back and reorganize. So it's going, right? It's going, and it's creating a file to communicate with the backend, and it's creating a file to communicate with the front end and render the front end. It's also adding utilities. So it's doing all these things for us. Again, I think it's very necessary to go through and check everything and really understand everything that a utilities file should contain. It's also building our app for us. So it built our HTML too. And it's all connected, right? I mean, it's all interconnected, and it's important to note that LLMs are, at the end of the day, predicting the next best token. Of course, they have built through training and understanding of the world. And with this understanding of the world, they are able to essentially predict the next best structure that aligns with its understanding of the world. By next best structure, I mean the next best word, next best token. And in the case of code, it can verify these next best tokens by seeing if the IDE throws an error or seeing if, the application works. So, all right, so it's it's done. It's done. And now let's see what it built. So I want to say, how do I front end? So we have a production ready application. Okay, so it's all running together. All right, so, okay. So it's ready to go. It's ready to go. Okay, this is awesome. This is awesome. And we get the ability to add new insights. So we can say, add a powerful. So, secrets of LLMs. Describe your research insight in detail. LLMs predict the world by training on the relationships. Boom, save the insight, and now we have a new insight. We have a fully ready production grade application that we can use to store insights in our companies. And if I want, you can store insights for your research department, you can store insights for your customer support, lessons learned. There's so many things we can store insights about. There's so many applications we can develop. The world really is yours. So go out there and create amazing things. Catch you on the next one. Hey everyone, just one more thing I wanted to add. What are secrets of LLMs we can add to this? Okay, so we can ask questions. My point here is that we can ask questions to Bob. And we only used about 64,000 tokens to build this entire application. So okay, so that's important. System prompts have over 2 to 3 times more influence than other prompts. The scaling laws, very interesting. Emergent abilities threshold, that's very interesting. RLHF's double-edged sword, React pattern superiority. Okay, very interesting. We have a lot of secrets. Can you just add all of them using our API? Okay, let's see how we do this. Right, it's creating a seed file and grabbing everything that it just used. And we're going to be very easily going to be able to run this. So once it's done, let's let's run it. So I think okay, so it's gonna run it for us. Perfect. All right, awesome. And now we've added a bunch more insights, and we have them in here. The reversal curves, temperature, hidden power, context window utilization of system prompts. So, this is just amazing stuff. So go out there, use Bob, and have fun with it. See you in the next one.